Hi everyone, welcome back to Teakwondo channel. My name is Master Chong and today I'm very excited to go over Form 1 with you, which is poomsae. Let's go. Bam! Now in anything that you learn, you don't want to learn everything at once, so I broke this down just so that you can understand easier and you can follow along even easier. So what I've done is I broke it down to segment and segment, and what I want you to do is study those segments step by step so that you can master your Form 1. Let's get into poomsae training. Bam! So the first segment that you're going to master is the low block, step forward punch, step back low block, step forward punch. So from here you're going to chamber into a low block and then you're going to turn your body and block at the same time you step down. Make sure your feet is pointing straight forward into walking stance. And don't forget, the walking stance should be 1 foot apart in between, and it should be in line with your back heel just like this as you step forward. Now, a funny story when I'm teaching kids is when you walk, it's just like a regular walking stance, like you're walking normally. Like when I tell them, you don't walk like this, right? And some people, when they do walking stance, it's very short, like it's like this. And I tell them, hey, you guys don't walk like this. So make sure when you do your walking stance, you're actually in a comfortable walking position. Very important. Because poomsae is all about natural motions. Although it does feel unnatural at times, but we'll get into that later. So from that low block punch, you're gonna step forward and punch. And this one, make sure you keep in mind, when you punch, when you execute that punch, you're gonna step down and punch at the same time. That is so important. And when you spin around, don't spin on your heels, okay? That's a minus. Make sure you spin on the ball of your foot just like that, but it's not noticeable. So you're gonna step back and spin just like this into a good walking stance and do that low block. And step forward punch. Alright, so that's segment 1 for you, and if you need to replay that video again, just keep practicing that part until you master it. Segment number 2. Now segment number 2 is from the walking stance punch. You're gonna go down to a low block punch, and here the long stance is about 3.5 to 4 feet apart, and from here it's 1 fist in between. So make sure that long stance is very good. And another tip, when you go down forward, don't drop like this. Bam! Okay, don't do that. Make sure you bend your knees and then go together. Okay, notice I said together. Some people, they go 1 and then they go down. Don't do that. You don't want a dramatic height change. You just want a natural height change. So that's what you want to do. And when you're doing this step, make sure you're stepping forward and then your hip is not turned to the front. It's just relaxed to the side, just because you want to punch with your hip going to the side. So that way you can get more power. Segment number 3. Now from here, what you want to do is from that long stance punch, you're going to step forward and then you're going to block at the same time you step down with your foot. And when you chamber your block, don't do a T-Rex block like that. Make sure you relax your body and make a big motion, and then you block at the same time. So relax, 1. And make sure when you block and you step down, you have to do that at the same time. Now from that motion, when you step forward, you're going to turn your body into that right hand punch, and you're going to use your hip to punch forward so you can get more power. And after that punch, you're going to step back and chamber a very relaxed motion. You're going to step back and turn your body at the same time when you block, and turn your body into that left punch like this, and then pull really hard. When you pull, I imagine pulling a very big rubber band like all the way to my hip. So that's how you can get more power when you punch. And let me give you guys a tip. You want to punch 100% and you want to pull 100%. And if you do those two together, you'll get 200%. And combine those two together, you'll get a stronger punch and a higher performance. Segment 4. So from here, you're going to repeat this 1, 2, and this goes the same thing as the one that we just talked about before. Segment 5. Now from this position, a high block is actually harder to get power. So like I said, with the tip of pulling, that is super important in this segment. So when you're here and when you're going up for the high block, you're gonna pull really hard and you're gonna block as fast as you can. 1, and at the same time, you're gonna turn your hip like this to generate more power. So after the high block, you're gonna do that front kick. So what I like to do, from this position, I'm exaggerating my motion a little bit as I'm going forward, and I'm gonna pull my hands to my chest really hard when I extend. So you're gonna go 1, and then from there, after you kick, bend your knee and chamber with your elbows pointing downwards and hand to the side, just like this. And from here, when you step down, you should execute your punch at the same time. Now, I'm not going to go over like all those details in poomsae because that will be too much and maybe this video will be like an hour long. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna go over just the key points so that you guys can get better. And if these tips are helping you guys out, please hit that like button. And you can do the same thing on the other side, high block, kick, punch. That's the same thing on that side. Now finishing your pattern with 2 motions. So you're here after that kick punch on your left side, and when you go to the back, watch my right foot. My right foot is very important. You don't want to do this, turn and then go back. You'll actually get a minus point. What you want to do is you want to bend, and as you step down with your left foot forward, then you want to turn like this. Now, don't think about, oh, now I have to turn my foot like that. Then what happens is you're going to turn it even more, like more than before. So what you want to do is just plant that foot on the ground like solid and just focusing on stepping forward. And naturally, your foot will go nicely 15 degrees forward. And the last step, when you step forward and punch, don't go up and down and punch. Make sure you keep your knees bent and keep the same height, and then punch with the finish and yell, "Hiya." Now, the best tip when you yell is expression of gi. When you yell, your face, it should be like it should be all over your face, like, okay, I want this next belt, or I want this gold medal, or whatever it is, you want it, okay? So that's your face. When you do it, you gotta be like serious about it. Imagine if you do your poomsae really well, your power is amazing, your stances are solid, your kicks are all the way out there in space, but last minute you yell, "Huh." Like, that's not good. So when you yell, you want to finish stronger. So what I did with this video is I compacted all those tips in very short form and a very brief form so that it helps you guys out in a certain particular area in your poomsae. Like I said, I didn't cover everything. So I want to hear from you guys what tip I gave you helped you guys out the best. So please comment below. So my goal of these videos is to impact millions of lives out there. So that will be really helpful if you guys can kick that subscribe button, share this video with a friend so that you guys can impact other lives as well. Let's do that together. And thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate every single subscriber out there. You guys are the best. And maybe the next video will be freestyle. I don't know, we'll see. So I'm so excited to see you guys in my next video. So if you guys want, you guys can click this playlist and this one so you guys can take your skills to the next level. Until then, have a great day and we'll see you next time. Bam!